Hey everybody, Mr. Davis here. Wanted to check in with you on this module as we get through it and kind of talk about why this module is important. All right, in this module, module 4, we're going to be talking a lot about muscle strength, resistance training exercises, theories, principles, practical applications, and basic concepts that you're probably sitting there wondering while we're going over them. There are things that you've probably heard and discussed and learned in exercise science, but our goal as an athletic trainer is to be able to provide quality care. Okay, and to do that, we need to understand these concepts and also discuss and how they can benefit somebody as an athletic trainer. So like some of the first questions I always ask myself when we're looking at this is, why is this important as an athletic trainer to understand conditioning topics and movements? One, our job as an athletic trainer is to rehab injuries, but also prevent injuries. When we understand how the body moves, the movements in the specific sport, the torque and the forces that are involved, we can hopefully work to prevent injuries in those sports, but also when the injuries do occur, we can understand the movements that are important and we can hopefully rehab those injuries better. So rehab, strengthening are a big part of an athletic trainer's job, pre and post injury. And so by understanding these movements and these concepts, we can be a better trainer. Another big job of trainers is flexibility and mobility. When I was playing baseball in college, the only injury I ever had was I strained my hamstring my junior year, right before opening weekend. And we worked a lot on mobility and strengthening of my hamstrings. And once we got back to rehab, or we got through the injury through rehab, then a lot of it was preventative. I would go in before practices, I would go in before games, get a heat pack on my hamstrings, and the trainer would stretch me out. Not that I couldn't do it myself, but this will go over some stretching techniques that are a little better, like PNF stretching, stuff like that, partner stretching. Some stretching techniques that trainers could do specifically. So that is another big important role in why we go over this. And again, it allows you to better understand your athletes and know where they're coming from. I realized through your introduction videos that a lot of you have an athletic background. That's great. Hopefully, if you become an athletic trainer, you're working with the sport you're familiar with. But understand, you may be assigned a sport that you're not very familiar with. Okay, it could be swimming and diving. If you've never been swimming and diving, then that's going to seem very foreign to you, and the movements they go through and the rehab they need could be very foreign. Stuff like basketball, soccer, football, those are sports we see every day. But understand that there's so much more, especially at the collegiate level, that you might not be aware of. If you go to a big D1, there could be equestrian, there could be fencing. So understanding movements, how the body works, how strength and conditioning works, allows us to be able to break down those movements within the sport and provide better athletic care. One thing also I want you to think about are supplemental certifications to an athletic training certification. So once somebody gets their degree in athletic training, sits and passes their board exam and becomes ATC certified, sometimes they will go on and they will work on a secondary certification that really dives into this. A good friend of mine who's a physical therapist also has what's called the NSCA CSCS, and that's what I have. I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist. And we see a lot of people in the rehab sciences go on and get their CSCS degree, or excuse me, not degree, certification, because they realize and recognize how big of a role strength and conditioning is and how it can be utilized in the rehab scenarios. What is the NSCA? It's the National Strength and Conditioning Association. The CSCS is a Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist, and that's considered the gold standard in terms of exercise certifications, especially with working with people on their strength and conditioning. Any type of college strength coach is going to have their CSCS, pro strength coach is going to have their CSCS. We're also seeing a lot of what we call tactical strength and conditioning specialists, and the NSCA actually offers a tactical cert, TSAC. And so these people are working with special forces teams, stuff like that, especially here at Fort Liberty, to make sure that their strength and conditioning is on point where they need to be able to undertake their task and their duties effectively. So I want you to think about Is that something you want to be? Maybe going through this, you're going to realize, hey, I don't really enjoy athletic training. That's fine. I'm not an ATC certified. That takes a lot of hours. But I do have my CSCS, so that's the kind of side I come at this from. And I just want you to understand that there's a lot that goes into this. And there's ways that even athletic trainers are working to make themselves more valuable. So by adding a second certification, maybe personal trainer, CSCS, it's going to make you more marketable, better job prospects. So if you're in the hiring process, you can say, yeah, I'm ATC certified, but hey, I've also got XYZ certification as well. Allows you to do more within your team aspect, okay? You're not just the trainer. You have that ability to kind of branch out and work more. And then also it allows you to provide better service overall to your clients and athletes. So just think about that kind of stuff as you're going through this. If you go on and complete a degree in athletic training and become AT certified, I encourage you to look at a second certification to go with that. Some of the requirements are pretty straightforward. CSCS, you have to have a 4-year degree in the exercise science areas, and then CPR certification, and then you can sit for and take the test. So you do have to have a 4-year degree for that. But there are others out there that maybe go hand in hand. I encourage you to look at those, find one that works best for you and your needs. If that's what you would like to do, that's up to you. But again, as you're going through this chapter, try not to look at it just from the exercise science perspective, but how can this make me a better trainer? What are the things I can take away from here to provide better athletic training abilities should you go on and become an athletic trainer? As always, if you have any questions, please reach out. We're on module 4 now. I feel like we've got a pretty good grasp of how things are going. But if you need any help, please reach out. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.